Shalom. Call Loyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Rechak Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled 2020 began the great transition phase. It's time E. Time for what? For his kingdom to be translated and aka, receive judgment for his sins, and for the Israelites to receive the kingdom of heaven for eternity at the return of our Messiah, Yahushua, Hamashiach. Yah means he, Hawashai means delivers. He's going to deliver us from this captivity. So-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians are the lost 12 tribes of Israel, as prophesied in the Holy Scriptures. Holy Scriptures. So lucky for my voice. This past week, caught a bad like bug or something. Really messed up my voice this week, but Lord willing, I can go ahead and get through this video. So we'll start here in the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now we know how did that deceit came by the pilgrims when they came over here off those boats, and they signed those peace treaties, and then they had exchanged quote unquote gifts with the natives, which were the Northern Kingdom. And so what happened? They get those blankets they gave them had diseases laced in those blankets, and that was an act of war, and that began that war of destroying the natives, which were our Northern Kingdom brothers that already had this land in their possession. So that's how the kingdom is going to be. That's why the kingdom is going to be translated to the Israelites, because Esau stole it by deceit. He stole the whole earth through deceit, and chiefly the Israelites. And so what happened in 2020 was the great lockdown, right? Well, I say great. It was the lockdowns that happened because of what? The C-19. They call it the cove. I'm not gonna say the whole word because of algorithm purposes. They might try to block the video, but life as we know it, beginning in 2020 to now 2024 February, it's far different, right? Because the year 2019 was vastly different from 2020 into now. That's the old world now. When we just say this earth won't last another 50 to 100 years the way it is now, but just say 50 years from now, they'll look back in history, and that they'll look at this time frame here in the 2020s decade and say that was a pivotal turning point in civilization, because the years before it would be looked at as the old world, and the way things are done in the old world. Pretty much 2019 and back is the old world. And now we're in a different age because everything's changed, right? New laws, new technological laws, and then this quote unquote digital ID, this digital economy is about to get ushered in. 2020 will mark the time of the beginning phase of the digital economy, of the so-called that thing that go into your hand or your forehead to be able to buy and sell. Just like you had the Industrial Revolution back then, and I call these 2020s. I have said it before, even I think the 20s had began, because I do know, I said that the 20s, the decade of 2020 to 2030 is going to be the new roaring 20s, because it's going to change. All of the prophecies that was coming to pass, is going to be quite obvious that, the end of society is here. because of all of the rumblings of the wars and the rumors. We're just in beautiful times. It's dangerous times, but if the Most High has us covered, then we'll be okay. So we'll go here to Job chapter 20 and verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, shall cast them out of his belly. So who swallowed things down? What swallowed things down whole? A snake, a serpent. And that's an analogy for a man. There's a serpent like man, a snake like man in existence as well from the garden. And that same spirit and that serpent from the garden that deceived Eve is the so-called white man spirit. And he deceived and got America from the natives, right? Our Israelite brothers. And he got the whole earth through the seed. That American dream, which is actually an American blasphemy against the Most High. And so the Most High, he swallowed down the chief riches. He swallowed down was the Israelites. He stole us, and he has us in captivity, and we're in the belly of the beast of America. This is his society, right? This society is his creation. So the Most High, he said he's going to make him vomit them up, and that's going to happen. Salakia. Joel 3 and verse 5. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. And who is that? Verse 6. The children also of Judah, that's the southern kingdom, so-called blacks, and also Benjamin and Levi, which is so-called, Jamaicans and those of the Caribbean islands, and then also so-called Haitians, who are the Levitical, the Levites from the past. Says, and the children of Jerusalem, and that's representing the northern kingdom, so-called Latinos, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Have ye sold unto the Grecians? And the Grecians is another way to say Greeks, and that's going into Esau Edom, that change their name all the time. He keepeth not in his own borders, and he changes his name, like the fugitive and vagabond that he is, spoken of in Genesis 4 and 6, the curse of Cain, that ye might remove them far from their border. Genesis 4 and 6. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? So Cain was upset that the Most High didn't receive his second-rate sacrifice. He didn't do it properly because he never does anything properly. And it's actually not Genesis 4 and 6. I think it's 12. Yeah. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. Because Esau, so-called white man, he stole America, right? And America does not, the agriculture here is terrible. And especially over there in Europe as well. What's the strength of the ground? The fruits and vegetables that it gives for us to eat. And the agriculture and the farming is terrible, especially in Europe. They got to import everything. They don't export anything other than they got to create those foreign European cars, because they got to create their stuff to export because they don't have any natural resources over there in Europe. That's that bottomless pit. But anyways, we're going to keep reading. It says, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And the fugitive is one that escaped justice because they've committed crimes. Why? Until this day. And they just tell us to forget about slavery because that's a fugitive speaking, because they have not paid for that. And a vagabond is someone that does not stay at home. They don't have a home, and they always in everybody else's borders, right? That's why they're Australians. They kicked out the original people over there as well. They go by South African. They go by what? American, European, British, still Russian, still in all these different names. That's that vagabond that's ruling the earth right now. So going back to Joel chapter 3 and verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. It's over here in America. And will return your recompense upon your own head, so that what a man sowed, he shall also reap that. So he got to go into slavery for doing what he did unto us. It's only righteous and it's just. The Most High says what? A false balance is an abomination. Anyone that speaks against that, against the so-called white man going into slavery for what he's done, then they don't understand scriptures and they're going off. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, but a just weight is his delight, being well balanced. So everything, the scale is tilted horribly right now. And it's been like that for 500 years, since around 1492, to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of the Israelites. But the Most High is going to tilt the scales and balance it out. Meaning what? We've been destroyed, so now it's time for them to be destroyed. Like the little boy on Martin said, now it's your turn. You know, now it's their turn to receive this judgment too. It's not fair. The Most High would not be a just power if he didn't balance it out, right? And people have to get out of their feelings and their own understanding, which is of Satan, and get into the understanding of what the Most High is saying. Because his thoughts are not our thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts. And he tells us his thoughts through his holy scriptures. So, and this is only a fraction, of his infinite wisdom and his thoughts. So, verse 7 again, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So that recompense goes into reward. He's rewarded us with slavery and destruction, and then the Most High is going to return that upon Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's head. And that's just quote unquote karma, You can't blame me. It's just a natural order of how the Most High does everything. I'm just a messenger, Can't get mad at me for just reading the Holy Scriptures and having the understanding from the Holy Spirit in the name of Yahweh Shai. Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, the so-called African Americans. And then, like I just broke it down, the southern kingdom is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai hath spoken it. And that represents all Israel as well, because all Israel has been destroyed by the Grecians, the so-called white race, the Edomites. So, we've gotten sold and shipped off, had our children ripped from us and sold off. And the similar, same thing is going to happen in the kingdom of heaven, because no nation that's a world superpower never not had slaves. Every nation had servants. That's just the way kingdoms work. You have the ruling class, and you have the other nations that are subject into that ruling nation. As the so-called, as America has all the other nations subservient to him. Everyone flee over here to try to make money off the Israelites' destruction and what we've built over here. Revelations 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's our patience and our faith, that we will be redeemed, because it's not right for a nation to be forever under captivity of another nation like this, right? That's not fair. That's not right. But no one can understand that. No one cares to understand that when it's so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. But any other nation, like the Jewish people under the Nazis. Everyone said, yeah, they deserve it. They need to be freed from the Nazis, right? But when we say the same thing, they say, let's just shut up, be quiet, and forget about the past and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, it's a very evil, wicked, hypocritical society under Satan. So, and we know the book of Revelation was written around 90 to 95 AD, about 1900 years to 2000 years ago. So this was a revelation, mean the revealing of future prophecies. So this is going to happen here in these last days. Esau led us into captivity, and he's going to get led into captivity. That's that recompense returning upon his own head. Because Esau, he don't think about the latter end, like the scriptures say. He didn't think of the latter end of it. Because he's very short-sighted. He's not long-minded. He's not long-sighted, and he's not he plays chess. I mean, he plays checkers, and the Most High plays, has played chess, and chess is all about the long game. It's like a sniper with a scope that can see has infinite reach, infinite sight, all the way down, far away. And Esau had to just have a sawed-off shotgun, that shoots only a certain amount of distance. Galatians 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So anyone trying to say that that justice and vengeance upon the so-called white race for their sins won't happen, they're trying to mock the Most High, and that's blasphemy. Verse 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Esau sows to the flesh. He doesn't sow to the Spirit. He's not going to receive life everlasting. He has to receive judgment for his unrighteousness. Okay, so let's see. For his unrighteousness. Let's see. Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Russia and Ukraine now, Israel and Hamas and Hezbollah, and now the Houthi rebels, and Iran now it's steady escalating more and more. As I've said, it's like a fight card, beginning with the lower fighters, and then it's going to keep on, and throughout that pay-per-view fight, you keep going up the card to the main event of the heavyweights or the championship bout, right? The top two big dogs. And it's escalating. Now it's like America is like the NATO, the European military allies with America going up against Iran, and then eventually Russia's going, the big dog, the bear, Russia's going to step in, and then America going to have to go ahead and stand toe to toe and go up against Russia, and Russia has all of the artillery that's going to wipe out America. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these things happening, this is that great transition phase we're in, because the old world as we knew it before 2020 is no longer. It's a different time we're in now, right? Everyone can see it now. It's painfully obvious now. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, and that's all happening right now. It's turned up even more since 2020. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is just the beginning phase. So we're in that transition phase to the kingdom of heaven now. And it's clear that it's about to, because everyone, even the most arrogant, delusional hypocrite in this world, in Babylon and America, can see that something big is about to occur. that's going to tilt the balances of power forever on this earth. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Verse 12, and because iniquity, which is sin, shall abound, which abound means grow, and because sin will grow, the love of many shall wax cold. As you see, there's more and more gruesome crimes and murders happening. People losing their mind, they bugged out. They all jabbed up with that juice that they have to roll their sleeves up, in order to keep their jobs and stuff. And they easily just bowed their neck and bowed their head and bowed their knee and did whatever the enemy said, right? So, that's going to start mutating in them as well. So this is a lot, as this happening, it's going to be unfolding. So, yes, we're about to get crazy. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind. We stay strong, because this is why we won't be shaken, because we've been blessed and fortunate to be infinitely indebted to the Most High for blessing us with this to root us in the vine, who is Yahushua, the Messiah. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And stability means being stabilized. We won't be shaken. And strength of salvation. And this is going to be our strength of salvation, because we know what's coming and we know what to do. Repent, keep the commandments to the best of our ability, and have faith, first and foremost, in the Most High, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahushua, in the name of Yahushua. The fear of the Lord is His treasure, and that's our treasure. Not going to a job making money. That's not our treasure. Or trying to get the bag on the Titanic that's going to sink, and the end of it. But the fear is our treasure. That's very powerful to think about. And how do you fear the Lord? By keeping His commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh. And how do we fear Yahweh? And keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. We were created for one purpose, to fear the Most High and keep His commandment, by keeping His commandments and following the Lamb, Yahushua, our head and our big brother, the great shepherd that died and that sacrificed His life for us. That's, as He said, no greater love than a man lay down his life, give his life for his friends, and that's what He did. He paid. He didn't say it. He said it, but He showed how. He showed, He gave the example by doing it. That's why He deserves everything, and we worship Him as well. As the disciples, because the disciples, they worshiped Yahushua, and when He was walking on the water, and Peter went out there for a moment and walked on the water, and when he went back, when Yahushua went back on the boat, went onto the boat with Peter, then it said the disciples did what? They worshiped Him when He came on the boat. So let's see. So 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 2. That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Mashiach is at hand. Mashiach is, they say Christ here, but it's Mashiach, means anointed. The day of the anointed is at hand. And who's the anointed? Yahushua, the Messiah. Verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that means the destruction and sin. And that's the so-called white man. He's being exposed now. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, because he whitewashed everything, and he want everyone to believe that He is the Most High, and do whatever He says, or you can't work. It's wicked, Who want to continue in this evil, wicked, degenerate, cancerous, eroding place, so that he, as Yahweh, sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh. Because he works miracles with those, with his weaponry and flying through the air and going to the moon, so-called, but the Most High is bringing them down. And then we'll go ahead and get Revelation 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power. So that strength going to be what? Everlasting life, those spiritual bodies that'll never ache, that will never pain, and we'll be able to do, wondrous things with those bodies. Be some very strong bodies. And the kingdom of our power, the kingdom of heaven, of Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, and that's the so-called white man, which accused them before our power Yahweh day and night. See, because they always saying that it's us, it's because of us. See what we did, but he's the one that created this degenerate society with the music and the movies and television and internet, social media, right? And these telephones. I say telephones, that sound old. With these cell phones, that's made everyone degenerate. And then when everyone goes off, then he blames them, like they're the problem, like the crack epidemic, the drug epidemic. He flooded our hoods with that heroin and crack and the cocaine and the thug hip hop music with Tupac. He was just nothing but a project by the so-called white man, and pushed them forth and put that thug demon spirit on our people and the Ice Cube and them as well, niggas with attitudes, popularizing the word nigga, So, but then he accused us of being wicked when he's the one that was behind the scenes working all that witchcraft. Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's the elect that wakes up to the truth, the 1/3. And by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death, meaning we hate this world and we just want to see it be transitioned, because we have no continuing city here, because it's a glass ceiling here, and it will always be hated by the so-called white man, and the heathen that he's brainwashed as well. Even 2/3 of our own people hate us as well when you speak this truth, because they're brainwashed by the serpent. Not washed, because that would be clean. Their brain is polluted. Their brain sullied by the serpent. Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So woe unto everyone, because he's going to make everyone try to transition them into the digital economy, where they have to wave their hand to buy and sell with a particular device, right? So that's why he's coming down with great wrath, because he knows that transition, we're in that transition phase, and he's trying to stop that transition of the kingdom of heaven coming with the Messiah return, Yahweh Shai, through the appointed time of Yahweh. But yeah, we're in that time, so it's time. Time's up, Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, not me. So I just want to go into something real quick. I hope this video was edifying. The water to Rechak Wadash Bashem Yahweh Shai. If you know the video, to the next video I say, Shalom.